Welcome to today's information session. Our session will begin immediately at the end of the following announcements. Be sure to join our private Facebook group to stay in the know and up to date. Whether you are planning to open a childcare business or simply need to regroup in your current childcare business, the 3-month coaching experience is for you. Enroll today at servingsuccessinchildcare.com. I am glad that you were able to get in and you are here, and I'm looking forward to giving you all of this information. I do want to let you know that I've been using this information, these resources for years in my childcare center. And when I tell you it has made a difference as far as me being a professional at what I do and retaining clients and staff members, it's done all of that. And I'm going to show you how in just a moment as we go through. Before I get started, I believe everyone in here pretty much knows me, but I'm just going to give an introduction because it is the proper thing to do, right? So my name is Frances Davis. I am a whole bunch of things, but I'll just kind of stick to childcare. So I have been in childcare for 26 years. So let's get started, y'all. Let's get into this because I want you to be able to go to these sites today, if possible, to go ahead and start picking up your free resources. So the first one I'm going to go over, and let me share my screen. All right, can you see my screen? Are y'all okay? Good. Thank you
Yes,
so
yes,
much.
yes.
Awesome. So now listen, you might know about this. I don't know. I'm not sure how much you know, but I'm going to tell you exactly how I utilize this site. As you can already see, this is, or you may or may not, this is USDA. So some of you, if not all of you, may be familiar with USDA. They regulate the foods that we serve to our children. If you are in the program, it's a federal program and you are not obligated to participate. However, if you have a licensed facility, I highly recommend that you participate. And here's why, just in case you're listening and you don't know. They provide quality training, they provide resources, and most importantly, they reimburse you for the food that you serve to the children in your care. Now, I wasn't planning on talking about this part, but I'm going to let you know when I was. So, anyway, if you've ever been to a USDA or CACFP training in person, you get materials from them. So some of this that you see that I share with you, it may look familiar. This is where they're getting it, y'all. So when you go to these trainings and you see all these brochures, pamphlets, information cards and whatnot, this is where they are coming from. Now, as a child care provider, if you participate in USDA, now this, among all of the programs I'm going to tell you about, this is the only one that requires you to participate in the program. So if you're participating in CACFP or USDA, you're actually one of the agents. You can order from this form whatever you see, whatever you want. So I'm going to go through it with you really quickly, and then I want to show you some of the materials I have. Now, since I retired, these are just some of the leftover things that I had access to. Some of the things I have might be in storage. And I'm planning on just giving those things away at my in-person workshops and conferences that I'm going to be doing coming up here soon. So I'm just going to give them away, but I'm going to show some of them to you. Now, this is the order form, one of them. What you would do, and this is one of the links that I told you is hard to find. If you just look for it yourself, it's going to be difficult for you to find it. That's why I'm going to provide the link to you so you can go straight to the order form. Now, up here, you can decide which audience you want. For the most part, you're going to stick to childcare. So when you click on now I've ordered from all of them and I'll show you what I did. But if you go to childcare, everything in reference to childcare is going to pop up for you. Let me get rid of this screen. Okay. Everything in childcare is going to pop up for you. They have a total of, look how many pages, it's 10 pages worth of items that you can order for your program. And I'm going to show you the first one. We're not going through all of these, y'all. We just don't even have time, but I want to show you pieces that I use and how I use it in my program. So this first one, which is called Grow It, Try It, Like It, is a whole curriculum, y'all. It's an entire curriculum about teaching nutrition education. I'm going to show it to you right now. This is it. Can you see this okay? Because I can't see you anymore, so I want to make sure you can see this.
Yes.
Perfect. You can see it's a box. This is an actual kit called Grow It, Try It, Like It. Preschool fun with fruits and vegetables. When you open it up, this is a brand new one. I've had like 5 of these. This one has never been used. It has sections in it where they go over each focus that they're going in for that particular week. The first one is called the Basics Introduction and Resource Materials book. You can pull out the entire thing, and when you open it, there are resources in here. It actually has, let me put that down. It actually has some CDs that you can utilize, one for children that you can use to print out, maybe give to parents. One of my favorite parts are all the posters. This is a huge poster that you can open. Now, I have ordered many posters from them. Have you ever been into an elementary school and gone into the cafeteria and seen those huge posters everywhere, just reminding children about eating well, pictures of children choosing to eat well, to drink water, the food groups, all of that? Have you ever noticed that? Well, this is where you get those resources. So what I would do is I would take the posters to my local Office Max, Office Depot, Staples, whatever type of office store you have where you live, and I would have them to laminate it for me, which means I never had to order it again. And I would put it on the wall in my cafe. Well, we called it a mini cafeteria because our little cafeteria was so cute, y'all. It was very small, but it was so cute. And so we would put all of that's what I should have done. I should have posted some pictures of that. But just reach out to me if you want to see pictures of how it looked in our area, and I'll send it to you. But anyhow, I would laminate them and put them in the places where our children would eat. And it looked exactly like the type of environment that they were going to be going into as kindergartners, as preschoolers. When they left us, we were literally preparing them for the environment that they would see when they left our establishment, because we were setting them up for success. And so, yes, you might have your own idea of education. You may be like a private school setting. You may be a Christian-based environment, which is what we were. We were Christian-based. But at the same time, because I knew 98% of my children, we had some that were going to private school, but 98% of them were going to be going into public school settings. And so because I love them, I want them to see the same type of visuals that they would see when they got to big school, as they called it. And so that's why I would order these things and I would post them in the rooms so that when my little ones got into this bigger setting that they call big school, they would see something that brought comfort to them because they saw it at Building Blocks Academy, or they saw it with their teachers there, or they, were able to participate in activities that reminded them of where they came from. And so when I talked to you about in the beginning about utilizing these resources in a deeper way, it's not just about collecting them and saying, here you go, here's something for you. It's about finding out how you can transform your center, your preschool, your family day home, your environment for your children, because you're setting them up for success later. So it's not about right now. It is about right now, but it's also about what happens down the road for them. This is what serving well looks like. Here are some more books that I used that are right here on this order form. I'm just going to show them to you. It's called the 2-Bite Club. You may know about it, but this book was created for children to teach them, hey, just try 2 bites. And if you don't like it, fine. At least you can say you tried it. So this book encourages them to do that. When I tell you I have had at least 100 of these books, because I order every single year and I just give them out to children into the classroom libraries as well. And we go through these with the children. But if you've ever served them and they're like, oh, I want that, it's fine, but let's just give it a try. And sometimes you may not have the words or sometimes the patience to get them to, just try it. This book will help you with that. Something else. This is an unopened spiral notebook, which is dedicated to feeding infants. And so if you have staff members, it's a trainer's guide. So if you have staff members, you can actually train from this. Okay. I'm not going to go into that because I can talk about anything I'm telling you about. I can talk for a long time about it. So I'm just going to give you like just the bullet points. This is an open pack about how to prevent wasted food. So this is something that there are little newsletters in here. So it's like a little book. They're not sheets. It's like a little booklet. You can pass these out to families. And train your staff as well. This is another collection. It's about 15 books in here. Breastfed babies are welcome here. So if you have a welcoming station at your school or your center or your home where mothers who breastfeed can go and just kind of close the door and do what they need to do, then this will be great for that. It's also going to give you some tips on how to best serve them. And so we did at my center, we had a special place for them and we made sure that they knew they were welcomed if they wanted to come in to nurse their babies. Some more flyers. This one is talking about adding variety to your protein foods. Like what else can I use for protein? These are all flyers. And so I think it comes with maybe 50 to a pack. Healthy celebrations, lasting memories. This helps you understand how to create celebrations around food. Because how many of you know, like when we get good food, what do? You start moving. Unbeknownst to you, sometimes we start tapping our feet or we're dancing. I know I do when I get some good food. And so it helps us to understand how we can create celebrations around food, which will make it enjoyable, especially for children. This one is for older children, so it's like a cross, sort of like a activity sheet where they can cross out activities that they do. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I hope I don't forget, I'm going to tell you how to tie this in to an engagement program. So if you're having some trouble getting your families, your parents to engage with you, to go to your social media, to boost you up so that other people can see how wonderful you are, things like this, creating a gamification. I don't know if you've heard that used in childcare because it's not really a word that you hear a lot from childcare courses or childcare conferences. I use gamification in my center all the time for my staff and for my parents, because when you add gaming to anything you're trying to teach, it makes people want to be involved. And so this is something that you can apply to gamification. And I'll show you how to do that. If I forget, just and you want to know, just remind me to come back to it. This, y'all, is everything I'm showing you now is unopened because I didn't get to these. This is a whole recipe book. So you may have seen this in your CACFP program. Whether or not they give it to you, I don't know, but you don't need them to give you anything. You can get on here and order whatever you want. This is a whole recipe book. So you can use this yourself, keep it yourself, but you can also gift it to your clients, to your parents, if you choose to do so. Um, More little booklets that you can give to parents. This shows how to make applesauce, and I'm sure it has lots of information in here for parents. This again, you can use for gamification because you can put it in, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I'm trying not to jump the gun, but you can put it in your tour packets when parents come to visit. Prospective parents come to visit your center. You can put it in your tour packets. You can put it in your new family welcome packets. Just as a gift for them. You can also later on run a contest in your center. Maybe have the parents do this activity and record themselves doing it and post it on your social media. I cannot explain to you how much exposure that's going to give you when it comes to others seeing what you're doing in your program and how beneficial your program is to other families. If no one can see you, they won't know what you're doing. And I do understand that in some cases you don't want to be seen. But at the same time, if you want to have full enrollment going on a steady basis, you want to get your wait list. I have one of my clients, she couldn't be on today because she had a meeting. I'm working with her and we work really intensely. She actually has a waiting list with, how many did she tell me? I think she told me there was about 20, it was either 25 or 29 families that are waiting to get into her establishment. She's in home. She's working in home. Her center is called Mastermind, and she is in the process of building an amazing program. And we're working together. And she's implementing everything that I tell her. And she is definitely in the process of blowing up. And so she does things like this. She has a waiting list, and it's because of the things that I'm telling you about. That's what I want for you, because I don't want at any point for you to have spaces that are open. It happens, but I want you to have systems in place to immediately fill that space. And the things that I'm sharing with you today are creating opportunities for you to serve well. Because what parent, when they open up their, not their newsletter, their packets that you give them, is going to turn away from the fact that you're preparing them for success. You're creating opportunities for them to engage with their children. This is a whole engagement activity. And we have busy parents, y'all, that don't have time to do this or don't really know what to do. And so when we come in as the expert, which is what we are, and we give them ways to engage with their children in a fun manner and to share that with other families, you have no idea the impact that you're making on that family. We don't just take in the children and care for them and say, all right, see y'all tomorrow. We're actually helping them to prepare a better environment in their homes for their families, for their children, during the time period that they have them. Let me move on. This is another booklet, just like the one I showed you, but this one talks about how to make vinaigrette dressing. Who's doing that? This would be an incredible activity for parents to do with their children. So salad with vinaigrette dressing. My girls, let me tell y'all. And so this again is another little booklet that you can share with your families. And here's the thing, because I can almost feel some of you, and I've actually heard them say this before. Well, they're just going to leave it in the car. They're just going to throw it away. It's going to be left on the van. They're not going to. That's why you tie gamification to it. You can tie this to things in your program. That's going to cause your parent to say, oh, I'm going to get to that right away because I want XYZ as a benefit of doing this. That's how you make sure that it's done. And I did this faithfully. And when I tell you it worked every time, it worked every time. Here's another flyer called Choose My Plate. You'll see that a lot when you go on their website. Again, it's going to teach them how to engage in or participate in physical activity every single day. And it allows the children to document what they are doing. This back portion just talks to them about the 5 food groups. You can use this as gamification. You can even use this to create fun staff activities for your staff. So everything that I'm showing you can affect everyone in your program, not just your clients, but also your staff members and you yourself. That goes without saying. Y'all, they have these little booklets that have sight words. There are 5 of them for the 5 food groups. So this is the red group, which goes over fruits. There are others. I didn't bring all of them because I think my other books are in storage, but I'm going to show you a picture of how I use them. Here's another one. This is dairy. These are actual little books that you can take out, and I'm going to tell you how I used to use them in just a moment. Let me go to CDC. Oh, but first, did everybody get this? And I'm going to give you copies of how you get into this. Let me tell you really quickly, if you choose after school and summer school, it's just going to pull up more resources. You don't have to stick to childcare. I did it. I went in here and I ordered this first book right here. I didn't bring that one with me today, but it talks to you about how to create events about nutrition in your program. Like, you got to get that. You've got to get it. What else do they have? More flyers. Now, these that you see are activities for older children. So they have to go and find pictures. They have to match things. There's a lot of that in there. I highly recommend that you get those as well for your school agers. Under the elementary schools, I went under that one too, y'all. I left no stone unturned. I looked at everything to see how it could benefit my family. They have I'm sorry, not my family, my child care families. My posters came from here. I got a lot of posters. I'm not going to go through all of it because I want you to scan through it. I just want you to know, look through all of them, okay? You're going to find something of value that you can use in your program for your families. Even go into school, nutrition professionals, do that one too, because I ordered from that one as well. They have great resources in here that you can use in your program. I'm trying to scan through. This one right here, y'all, has stickers in it. Like the one that my cursor is at right now, it has professional badges. So for instance, if you're teaching your staff members something in the book related to nutrition, you can actually reward them with a badge and you can get it out of that kit right there. Just amazing the things that you can do in here. So let me move on because I don't want to, I think that was going to be the one I spent, excuse me, the most time on because I had so many resources for that one. Y'all speak back to me. Let me know if you're okay while I switch over to the next resource. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing and what you're gathering so far.
Good. This is great. I had absolutely no idea about this, so it's definitely something that I'm gonna incorporate. So thank you so much.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Is the CDC. So when you see it on your screen, just let me know. And y'all might have to verbalize it because I can't see your chats right now. Can you see this?
Yes.
Perfect. We all
Yes.
know about CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And if you didn't know, I'm sure you became familiar during the pandemic. I never visited their site as much as I did during the onset, the beginning stages of the pandemic, because in my state, they were so slow about giving us feedback on what they wanted us to do in our facilities. And so I wasn't about to wait for them. I needed my families to know right away that we had everything under control and we were doing everything that we could do. And so my goal in my program was always to exceed expectations. Whatever the agency was saying, we exceeded that. And so I spent a lot of time on CDC's website during that time. Do I agree with everything they talk about? Absolutely not, because they say some really whack things in here. I'm not going to get into that. That I don't believe, but there were a lot of great resources here as well. So I just bought one to show you today because a lot of my things that I use with them are in storage. But let me show you this. So I ordered these development cards or posters. They're thick. They're really thick, and they're laminated. Each one went from your baby at 9 months all the way up to 5 years. Now you can do a lot with this. You can order them to give to your parents, or depending on the age of the child that's touring with you, you can just slip this in the tour packet or the welcome packet for the parent. It's really for them to understand their child's development. And so CDC is not an expert when it comes to early childhood education, but they are more so helpful when it comes to recognizing possible issues, for lack of a better word, issues when it comes to development. So for instance, it'll let you know what your child should be doing at that age generally, it regarding social, emotional, language and communication, cognitive, or your thinking skills, movement and physical development. So if I'm a parent and I'm looking at this and my child is not reaching these milestones, I can go over here. I can speak to my professional first, because remember, your first point of contact, and then you're going to advise them, well, you know what? I recommend you talk to your doctor about that. And you also have another resource here. So you can call this number, you can speak to another professional about some things that you can do or get more resources. And so I was holding this off to the side, so I don't even know if y'all can see it, but these cards are amazing. What I did with them in my program was I posted these in my welcome area. So that's how I use them, so that parents could look at them and everyone could see them, but you can use them however you want. When you go through the order form, which is what you're looking at right now, you would just find what you need. Now, again, you can branch off into other areas, but take a look at my screen and let me show you what I use. I only use two programs here. Of course, the first one was child development, which is right here. I just clicked on that, and then you have to press search. And anything regarding child development is going to come up. Hopefully you can see it now. Here we go. So milestone trackers is what I would use. And let me show you this little booklet right here. I ordered so many of those. It's an actual booklet that goes over milestones. I would put those right into my tour packets and into my new family packets. They also have them in the form of brochures as well. Same thing, but in the form of a brochure, not as detailed as the booklet. As you can see right here, you can order 20 at a time. I would just go back in and order more. But for your first order, you can order up to 20. Let me show you something else I would get in here. I ordered these books right here. Now, right now, it's telling you that it's temporarily not available for ordering. You just have to keep checking back. If you have a staff member in your center, you can delegate that job to them as part of something that they do every so often, maybe every day or every week. They just go to the website and check to see if it's now available for ordering. That's all you have to do. So I ordered these books, and whenever I had a child enrolling into my program, if they were infants, I would put this in their packet as a gift. Now, well, never mind. I'll go into that later. So here's another book down here. Now, this one is showing out of stock as well. Just keep checking back. It'll tell you exactly how many you can order when it's available. So those are some of the things. And these are actual books, y'all. Here's another one that I used to order. This is the Spanish version of it. I did not order the Spanish version. I had the English version for this particular book. But these were more books that I would give out to my families. Here's the little brochure that I told you about that goes over milestones. So that's something that you can order as well to pass out. Anyway, let me show you something else. You can also use let me find it and show it to you. Here it is, hand washing in the community. This is something that I began ordering with the pandemic, onset of the pandemic. I didn't really know about it prior to that. So what you're going to get are options for ordering posters. Y'all, I have so many of these posters. Now, right here, it's a limit of 30. I just put 30. Go here and you put 30. Okay. If you want that many, if you don't want that many, don't. I recommend doing it because you never know when they're going to be out or if they will discontinue it. I just ordered the limit, the max of I'm sorry, the max of what I could order. They have them in Spanish and English. You can order whichever you want. I ordered these to give out to parents, but I also laminated a couple of them and put them in the bathrooms at my center. Here's another one for children. This one is out of stock, but again, just keep checking back. While I'm saying that, I do want to also let you know you can actually download these. You don't have to order them and have them mailed to you. You can download them yourself and print them out. You can send the file to your printing company. You can go there and just, send the file to them, or you can email it to them. I had a relationship with the printing company that I used, and so I was able just to email these files to them if I wanted them to print something. I didn't do that for these companies, for these agencies that I'm telling you about, because I wanted them to mail them to me so that I didn't have to pay for the printing. A lot of stuff here, y'all. As you can see, they have coloring books. Again, some of them are out of stock. You don't have to wait. You can go ahead and, well, this is a poster. You can go ahead and download. That's a last resort for me, as I've already mentioned. But if you don't want to wait, you can certainly do that. So yeah, that's all I have for CDC. Let me go to this next one. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Listen to me. Go to this website ASAP. I'm assuming that you want to participate, and I'm going to show you why you do want to do that. Let me go to oral health education programs, classroom kit. If you haven't done this, you may be familiar with it, but if you're not, Colgate will actually mail a kit to you. I brought my kit. I've had the multiple kits. If you're in home, your kit is going to come like this white box. This is what your kit more than likely will look like. So this was the one I had sent to my home. What you're going to get are prepackaged toothbrushes for your children and little tubes of toothpaste. This is what you're going to get in home. I like the in-home kit better than the center kit. Now, I didn't bring my center kit because the box is bigger and I didn't want to carry that, but I'm going to show you what came in it. Before I do that, no matter what kit you buy, you're going to get posters. Again, I love the posters because you can laminate them and put them in your bathroom or put them up for the children, especially if you allow them to brush their teeth in your facility or in your home. Some centers do that, or programs do that. I didn't. You had to brush your teeth at home. I didn't I didn't add that to my program, but some do. And so you can put these posters up. They have coloring books inside. They have reward certificates for the children when they mastered something regarding toothbrushing. They also have, well, this is a bigger poster. This is the one I got in my center kit, where it actually shows them how to best brush their teeth. The kit that comes with the centers is like this. It's a prepackaged little kit that has I will take it out. The toothbrush is inside, the same toothbrush that I just showed you. The difference with that is that they don't get a tube of toothpaste. They get this little slither, this little tiny packet, which is like for one-time use. Once they open it, you might as well just kind of toss it. That's what they get. But everything comes in this little plastic wrap. And then they get, well, I won't take it out, but this is a little sheet that just reminds them about brushing their teeth. If you open it all the way, there's like a little chart where they can mark off that they're doing it, which is great if you're doing a reward system. And it's great for their parents too, to keep track of helping them to stay on task. So those are the kits that you can get through Colgate. They don't do this all year round, y'all. So if you try to put this in late, you might not get in until 2024. So if you go ahead and fill it out now, you can get your kit in 2023. And it says here in January 2023. So hopefully we haven't missed the mark. But even if you did get in, because once they add you to their roster, you then will get a different type of email from them. So now I don't have to do this. They actually send me an email saying, okay, it's time to go ahead and register. Let us know how many kids, because I'm now part of the program. So if you've never done this, go ahead and get registered so that you, excuse me, can be on their mailing list. All right, that's all I had to say about that one. Do you have any questions before I move to the next one? Here we go. McGruff Safety Kit. Now, this is just one, okay? There are other agencies and companies that will send you safety kits. Some of them will charge you, some of them will only send you a small kit, which is fine with me because, especially if you're in a family day home setting or a home setting, you don't need as many anyway. But if you're in a center setting, you might want to opt for the paid kits, and they're not really that expensive, but this is the order form where you would get it. They give you five. You only get five at a time if you order through this. However, if you go into their bulk ordering system, you can get them for, I think it's, I want to say maybe 250, I think, for each one. Now, for some reason, I don't see my kit. I wanted to show it to you. If you're Well, my current clients are not on right now, but if they were on, because they know all of this stuff, if they were on, they would tell you that it's part of the coaching program. You see the kit, but inside the kit is like a fingerprint, basically. So your parents can put their child's fingerprints on inside the kit, put all of the important information about their child. Now, God forbid they ever need this, but if for some reason they have to submit this information to the authorities, it's less of a problem because they don't have to start looking for things. All of the information about their child to help the authorities, locate them. God forbid this happens. But again, I want you to think about the fact that you're serving well by adding this little kit into your new family packet. I didn't put this kit in my tour packet, y'all. There's some things I didn't put in my tour packet. In my new family packet, once my parents invested in the program, there were some additional things that I would give them to prepare them for future success. And so in my new family packet, I would put these kits in there. So all they needed to do was fill out their child's information, put the fingerprints on the kit and hold it, keep it for themselves. And then if for some reason they needed to give it to the local authorities, they could just hand it over and those individuals could be free to do the work that they needed to do. Also, you can let your parents know that your DMV can actually give their child an ID card so that they can have that as. But anyway, let them know that these things are um, resources that are available to them. All they have to do is take their child in. I think it's $5 for the ID card at DMV, and then their child has an ID card, and they might find that is useful somewhere down the line. So that's that one. There's another one that I can take you to, but I'm not going to do that. You could just Google safety kits, say free safety kits, and then some information will come up. This last one, y'all, we're on the last one. Let me go and find it right now. And I'm getting ready to start talking real fast. Bear with me. Because the one thing that I wanted to do was to show you, I talked to you a little bit about it, so I won't have to speak so fast, but I want to tell you some other ways that you can use this for retention, for engagement in your program, and all of that. Okay, here it is coming up right now. So this is the NIH, National Institute of Dental and Craniofacial, y'all, research. Anyway, let me just show you why I recommend this. And this book that you're looking at right now, A Healthy Mouth for Your Baby, I have these. You can order up to 50. The limit is 50. And I would give them out either during what is it? Dental awareness or I think it's dental awareness week or month. I think they do have a whole month for it, if I remember correctly. But there's a month that's focused on dental awareness. And so we would give them out then, but I also gave this to my little ones whose teeth were beginning to come in. So that it's important to do that because it connects you to your families, because it lets your families know this is a milestone. It's a big deal to me. And here's a booklet that's going to help you understand what you need to do to support them at this time. Number one, we're not giving them juice as they go to sleep. That's going to cause tooth decay. So this little booklet is helpful for them because it's going to give them insight as to what they need to be doing to help them as their teeth begin to come into their mouth. So there are other books here. There are some in Spanish. There are some other books about sealing tooth decay. I don't have all of these. The only one that I would order was this one that you see in front of you right now, which was great for me. So anyhow, y'all, that's the last one. Now, let me stop sharing because I want to tell you something really quickly because we're like now at about 2 minutes. When you put your, this was my folder, my new family folder that I use in my center. So when you put your, whatever you put in there, I want you to be thinking about ordering your, when I say ordering, I'm not talking about placing an order for something. I mean, ordering your resources in your book, your unpacking. When you think about putting it together, I want you to think about 5 things. And I actually did a class on this as well. You need to have something educational in it. You need to have something obligatory in it, something that is obligation. You need to have something useful or usable in it. Number 4, you need to have something that is cash equivalent in it. And you need to have, lastly, number 5, a gift in your folders. Be strategic about putting your take home packages together. Here's why. Because when that prospective family leaves your center, when they're trying to figure out if they're going to join you or ABC Street, ABC Center down the street, your welcome packet or your tour package should still be talking. Okay. It should still be talking to them when they get to your home. This is why it's important for you to make sure you're strategic about what you put in your folder so that it can continue to sing your praises when they're no longer at your facility. Um, those were the 5 packet must-haves. Here's other ways you can use the resources that I told you about. Not only your tour packet and your welcome packet, your PTO or PTA. I don't care what type of environment you're in, whether you're in home or in a center, you can establish a PTO or a PTA. In my center, we established a PTO. Why? Because we want engagement with our families. We want to constantly connect them to what we're doing and to help them as they're preparing their own children for success. So this is something you can do whether you're in home or not. I recommend that you do it. And these are resources that you can use there. Prizes and giveaways. You can use these resources for prizes and for giveaways. Put them in your care packages. During the pandemic, that's when we started sending out care packages to our families because some of our children couldn't come. And so we would send them care packages with activities, with some customized things in it that were incredible. Our parents loved them. They even went on Facebook and showed the children with some of the things, mailed them out to your families. What child is not going to love seeing their name on an envelope with something in it that you gave them? These are things that we used to do, and our children loved it, and it connected our families to us. Classroom activities and curriculum. I told you about the full curriculum set. You can use these things in your curriculum, in your classroom activities. Staff training, when you're training your staff, use these materials to do that. Have your staff train using these materials. Marketing, you can use these for marketing purposes. You can, and what I'm getting ready to share with you now is more detailed. When we're in a coaching relationship, I will go into more detail, but you can scan these items, use them on your social media. I did these things on my social media account where parents who were looking at me, not sure if they wanted to join yet because we didn't have a relationship, they could actually download these materials and we talked to them about how to use them. I could talk a lot about that, but I have to move on. So the last one is family engagement. I've spoken to you quite a bit about how to engage your families, and so I think I talked to you a little bit about even in gamification, how you can tie these to it by telling them, "Hey, we're running a contest. We're going to have lots of families doing this. Whichever family gets the most views on Facebook or the most likes on Facebook from doing this applesauce making activity, they're going to win XYZ. Maybe you'll give them $10 off tuition. Maybe you'll pay for a field trip." What I'm saying to you is there are ways you can connect your family into what you're doing. You can serve well. That's all I talk about, y'all. And I talk about a lot, but I'm always going to bring it to you from the perspective and the foundation of serving well, not just giving the stuff away. Now, here's what I want to do. The first person that can tell me, who can unmute themselves and tell me how you're going to use this information, how it can serve you well, I'm going to give you a starter kit. This has some stuff in it that I just showed you, and I'm going to mail it to you. So go.
I'm definitely going to order these things because I do want to use all the posters. I love all the books to send out, and I like that you were saying putting them in the welcome folder packets and all. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to make use for everything.
Awesome. So you were the first one to speak. So be on the lookout. I'm going to mail, and I have some extra goodies in here for you as well. That
Thank
I'm going
you.
to send out to you. So when we talk, you'll send me your information so I can go ahead and get it mailed out to you. But anyway, y'all, that's all I wanted to share. I'm sorry if it was kind of fast paced, but I wanted to make sure I covered everything. This is not all there is. There are lots of other sites that I use. I just wanted to kind of keep this class a little more condensed so that I can make sure you get everything that you need. Do you have any questions for me right now? What questions do you have for me?
If you plan to do a session on gamification, please include me. I would love
Yes,
to read
ma'am.
more about that.